While trying out new ideas to keep the series fresh and draw in a new crowd, Skylanders decided to dip its toes into the TCG market. However, the final product wouldn't turn out nearly as successful as they had hoped it would be. Hello and welcome to the Absolute Gamecast. Today on Video Game Graveyard, we dive into the history of forgotten TCG title Skylanders Battlecast to discover what it was and how it met its end. For some quick context, Skylanders Battlecast was a mobile card battle game developed by Beachhead Studios and published by Activision. The game released on iOS and Android May 24, 2016 and stayed online until being shut down just over a year later on September 1, 2017. Taking inspiration from its main series counterpart, Skylanders Battlecast features a system known as Cards to Life, where players would scan physical cards into the game to add them to their in-game collection. Because of how surprisingly in-depth the game's rules are, I won't be covering them in-depth in this video, but if you are interested in learning to play for yourself, I'll provide the document I used in the description of this video, but be warned there are a few errors, but they aren't super bad, mostly just spelling errors. For the basic rules, in this game, players build a deck of up to 3 of the 24 playable Skylanders, as well as up to 30 spell, gear, or relic cards. Each of the 24 Skylander character cards feature 2 different stats, attack and HP, as well as a special ability they can use after they rank up to rank 2, which is done by defeating opponents with basic attacks which can be executed at the end of each turn by your active Skylander. When an opponent is defeated, they drop 1 XP, and after 3 XP, your Skylander will rank up, which can be done until rank 3, where they receive a boost to a single stat. There are also spell cards that are used to attack your opponent or grant special effects to your character or enemy characters. These can be used either by all Skylanders, Skylanders of a specific element, or a single Skylander depending on the icon present on the card. Gear cards, which are used to add stat buffs or in-battle effects to your Skylanders and can be equipped similarly to spell cards. And finally, the relic cards, which are special cards that change how battles are fought in the game and are similarly equipable to both spell and gear cards. 2 players, or a player and a computer, can verse each other in turn-based battles, delivering attacks back and forth until all 3 of either player's character cards' HP is depleted and they're knocked out. With over 300 cards to choose from, the game was left wide open for many possible strategies and team combinations for players to choose from and find their own playstyle that best suited them. However, as mentioned earlier, the game shortly fell apart after just over a year. But why did that happen? Well, the main reason is once again a very obvious one. The game simply didn't click the way they wanted it to. Most people either picked up the game and quickly forgot about it, or in radical cases never knew it existed at all. Leading into the second, much more unique reason for the game's downfall. The game saw little to no advertisement, which led to many people not knowing the game existed until after it was discontinued. The physical cards in stores were tossed on shelves with all other TCGs like Pokemon, Magic, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Without much fanfare, and didn't do well enough to draw attention away from its direct competition. The closest the game got to advertising was being given free cards in starter packs for Skylander Superchargers, which if you didn't play at the time of release or just didn't care enough to hold on to the cards, likely would end up pushed to the side and forgotten, which didn't bode well for the mobile app. And with the high cost of running servers and the low player count, the game was eventually discontinued. And similar to other experimental mobile games released for the Skylanders series, it's unlikely this game will ever see the light of day again. However, as mentioned, there were physical cards released to tie in with the game. It was intended to spin off and be a real TCG game as well, so even if the mobile game has been discontinued, if you still have the cards like I do, you can still play the real game. When the mobile game first came out, while I did play it briefly, I wasn't super attached since at the time I just wasn't interested in TCGs beyond collecting cards, and I also didn't realize the game had been discontinued until long after it had already happened, and wasn't super disappointed. But now that I have more of an interest in TCG games, part of me wishes there was a way I could give it a fair try today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. Not gonna force you, do what you want. Thanks for tuning in, and that's a video. Bye.